India Global.
India Global.
Hola and bienvenido to India Global. Join us as we take you today to a South American country with the highest waterfall in the world, the Angel Falls. Also the largest rainforest in the world, the Amazon rainforest, and guarded by the longest continental mountain range in the world, the Andes.
Yes, we are traveling to the birthplace of the statesman Simón Bolívar, to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela.
Venezuela is bordered by Colombia to the west, Brazil to the south, and Guyana to the southeast. Its coastline meets the waters of the Caribbean Sea in the north and the Atlantic Ocean in the east.
The country was named by the Spanish explorer Alonso de Ojeda after he saw the houses built on wooden stilts above a lake here, which reminded him of Venice. The country thus got its name, Venezuela, meaning Little Venice.
Venezuela gained independence from Spain in 1811. It became an independent republic in 1821. Its founding father was Simón Bolívar, who led not only Venezuela but also several other Latin American countries to freedom from the Spanish rule.
Today, Venezuela is a federal republic with 23 states, a federal district and 72 island dependencies in the Caribbean Sea. Venezuela has been a democracy since 1958. The president, who is the head of state, appoints a council of ministers.
Caracas, or Santiago de León de Caracas, is the capital and the largest city of Venezuela. A majority of the about 30 million people of Venezuela are Christians. The official language is Spanish. The currency of Venezuela is the Bolívares. Did you know that Venezuela was one of the founding members of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC?
Back in the 1970s, the creation of OPEC and the concomitant 400% increase in oil prices quadrupled Venezuela's income. Today, its huge proven crude oil and natural gas reserves are a major foreign exchange earner for the Venezuelan economy.
After oil, the most important industry in Venezuela is tourism. The country is blessed with a diverse landscape. Many foreign visitors travel here to see the beauty of the world's highest waterfall, the Angel Falls. Plateaus with tabletop mountains known as tepui are also characteristic of this country. The tepui from which the Angel Falls makes its dramatic plunge is nearly a kilometer high. The northern end of the Andes mountain range extends across Venezuela, crowned by the country's tallest mountain, Pico Bolívar.
Diplomatic relations between Venezuela and India were established on October 1st, 1959, based on friendship, cooperation and convergence on issues at the international and bilateral levels. Ties between the two nations have diversified over time. As members of the United Nations, the Group of 15 and the Non-Aligned Movement, India and Venezuela have consistently promoted multilateralism, self-determination, dignity and equality among all nations.
India's ambassador to Venezuela, Smita Purushottam, elaborates on the election of Venezuela as the next chairman of the Non-Aligned Movement in 2015.
Relations between India and Venezuela have always been excellent. We have been cooperating in the bilateral and multilateral forums very proactively. Venezuela is going to be the man chairman this year. So again, there will be a platform on which the two countries can come together.
Venezuela emerged as India's third largest supplier of crude oil in 2012. Speaking on energy sector ties, India's ambassador to Venezuela, Smita Purushottam, says that Venezuela's vast proven crude oil reserves of about 297 billion barrels can be a key element of India's energy security.
Venezuela has the largest deposits of crude oil in the world. Some say 1.4 trillion barrels, which is unparalleled in terms of volume. In terms of the recoverable asset in oil, they have proven deposits of 297 billion barrels of oil, which is larger than even Saudi Arabia. So Venezuela is a country with which India needs to have a permanent and strong relationship in our energy security.
In the hydrocarbon sector, a joint venture between India's ONGC Videsh Limited and a subsidiary of Venezuela's national oil company, PDVSA, was signed in 2005 for oil and gas exploration in the onshore San Cristobal field in Venezuela. Besides this, the multi-billion-dollar Petro Carabobo project between Indian and international oil companies first produced oil from the Orinoco belt of Venezuela in 2012. India's ambassador to Venezuela, Smita Purushottam, shares more details on both these projects.
India has made two major investments in the energy sector in Venezuela. OVL has made an investment in Petrolera Indo-Venezolana, and a consortium of Indian companies along with some other international companies have combined with the local state-owned oil company of Venezuela, PDVSA, to invest in the Petro Carabobo project.
Agriculture accounted for 5.6% of Venezuelan GDP in 2013. The country has been keen to learn from India's green and white revolutions in order to become more self-sufficient in milk production and other areas of agriculture. Consequently, areas of bilateral cooperation between India and Venezuela include agro-processing, milk and animal husbandry.
Other sectors of cooperation include health, pharmaceuticals, biotechnology, remote sensing, information technology and software, education and culture. India's ambassador to Venezuela, Smita Purushottam, highlights the investments of Indian IT software companies in Venezuela.
Curaçao, Aruba, St. Martin and the three Dutch principalities of Bonaire, St. Eustatius, etc. have a very vibrant Indian community. They trade with India and they are very well disposed towards India and have invited IT product companies to trade and invest with them. They are extremely well located in the time zone that is favorable towards IT software companies. So we have a whole lot of initiatives going in this region with both Venezuela and the territories of concurrent accreditation. And I do think the sky is the limit.
The Venezuelan education system can rightly boast of its excellent universities. Speaking about the chairs on India set up by Venezuelan universities, India's ambassador to Venezuela, Smita Purushottam, says,
the University of Los Andes in Merida and Central University of Venezuela, two of the oldest and best universities in this country. These two universities started with their own funds chairs on India. They have done studies on our Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, also on earlier Prime Ministers. They have done historical research on India and are also cooperating with us to spread more information on Mahatma Gandhi and various aspects of our history, culture, traditions, and even on the economic front. So we have an excellent asset in these universities in propagating Indian culture in this country.
Bollywood has been another source of inspiration for Venezuela. In 2013, Venezuela had evinced keen interest in the technicians, screenwriters and producers of the nascent Venezuelan film industry being trained from Bollywood professionals.
India also features prominently in the articles, programs and documentaries of the Venezuelan electronic and print media. The ancient Indian systems of Ayurveda and Yoga are also very popular in Venezuela.
India's ambassador, Smita Purushottam, tells us more about the love of Venezuelans for the culture of India.
Indian culture is prospering and extremely vibrant in Venezuela. The people here absolutely love India. There are so many talented people here who have learned Indian classical dance. Indian Bollywood is extremely popular here. There are many temples here devoted to ISKCON, Sai Baba, the Brahma Kumaris are here. So we have a very vibrant cultural relationship here.
The Venezuelan artist Juan Tepue playing the bansuri, an Indian flute, which he learned from the Indian legend Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia. The music of Venezuela has evolved as a blend of Spanish, African and indigenous rhythms. The national Venezuelan dance is called the Joropo. The traditional festival of the Carnival in Venezuela is a visual delight for onlookers.
Venezuelans have a great passion for the game of baseball. Football is also popular.
An astonishing fact for Venezuela is that it has won the most number of Miss World and Miss Universe titles taken together than any other country in the world.
That wraps up our visit to Venezuela.
But before we go, here's a question for you. What is the name of the oil project in the Orinoco belt of Venezuela in which Indian and international oil companies have invested together?
Send in your answers with your full address to indiajourneys360@gmail.com. The first 3 winners will get a music CD from AIR Archives and a DVD from the Ministry of External Affairs.
Congratulations Dr. Ashok Prabhu from Mumbai in Maharashtra, Debashish Das from Gurgaon in Haryana and NP Tarun from Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh for sending in the right answer to our question on Zambia. The Indo-Zambia Bank is a joint venture between the government of Zambia and 3 Indian public sector banks.
So until we meet next time,
goodbye and travel safe.